Good morning, everyone. How you doing? You're probably doing better than me. As you can see, if you look at my hair, I've been pretty stressed out this morning. And if you're wondering why, it's because I've been up to my eyeballs in technical issues. You might say, oh no, not again, Phil. Don't tell us again that you are having issues with your PC setup. I mean, you changed your setup in January. Well, actually, it was December. It's October. Well, there's good news here. No, the technical issues today had absolutely nothing to do with my PC setup at all. My PCs are good and fine and working. Today, I had issues, of all things, with my Switch 2. Because today, on a rare occasion, we're actually going to play a Nintendo game. That's right. I brush off the dust and, hey, let's do something different. You guys wanted Super Mario Galaxy 2, and I'm more than happy to oblige now that it's been ported to the Switch 2. But as I attempted to set up this morning, issue after issue, I'm going to walk you through it. It seems like Nintendo is at it again. It seems like I've got another faulty piece of Nintendo equipment. That makes 2 Switches in a row. I'm not kidding. 2 different Switches in a row. Both the Switch 1 and now the Switch 2 are malfunctioning on me. Does Nintendo make anything reliable anymore? It's a good question. Remember how many people had issues with these thumbsticks drifting on the Switch? I just seem to have other hardware issues, but maybe they're just not the dependable company they used to be anymore. Anyway, we'll talk about that. But also today, I'd like to get you all caught up on everything that we're doing, on the status of certain playthroughs, on the schedule, because now we actually have it locked in. But also on top of that, I have an update on Ghost of Yote. Because today, inadvertently, I didn't mean to, I basically spoiled myself on the end of the game. And basically, I was saying earlier, man, I'm going to skip Ghost of Yote because the writer or head writer of the game was the guy who was at BioWare who was writing literally bad game after bad game. Well, folks, boy, am I glad that I'm not playing that game. And we will talk about it. So sit back and relax. It's time for a better late than never edition, but also probably a shortened edition. It's time for the Level 1 Podcast. Alrighty, everybody. Good morning and welcome to the show. I'm DSP, and this is the Level 1 Podcast. There's just all kinds of issues going on right now, and I'm not actually sure what's causing them. So, for example, right now I'm broadcasting, right? And you all could see me, correct? There's no problems. Everyone can see me. Right now, as I'm broadcasting, I'm seeing everything looks like it's working, but I guess Kick Chat is not. And what I mean by that is Kick Chat freezes for me. It loads, but it's not moving. It was working last night, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe I have to completely reload Kick Chat over here. Today is Tuesday, the 7th of October, 2025. I hope that you're all doing well. At least I hope you're doing better than me. Certainly, I'm not doing very well today with all these technical issues. Let's see if I can even figure this out. Like, Kick Chat. There it is. Can I reload? Maybe I have to relog into Kick on the laptop to get it to work. So I'm going to the dashboard. All right, I got the dashboard loaded. I'm staring at my own stream, but the Kick Chat isn't moving. What is going on? Dude, so I can load the chat, but it freezes immediately. What the hell is causing that? Dude, I'm having nonstop technical issues this morning. This is driving me nuts. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. I can't, right now, I literally cannot use Kick Chat. It will not work on my laptop. Let me see if it's working on my desktop. Yes, Kick Chat is moving on my desktop. It refuses to move on my laptop. I'm logged in. I'm staring at my own stream. The stream works, but the Kick Chat just freezes. What is causing that? YouTube chat is working, for the record. I can see everyone on YouTube this morning talking. But I have absolutely no clue what is causing these Kick Chat issues this morning. I'm even using the same browser. All right, I'm using Chrome on both computers, but it's working fully fine on the desktop, and it will not move on the laptop. They're both connected to the same internet. What in the holy hell is going on today? I don't even know how to get it to work. I actually have no idea what's causing it to malfunction, so I don't know how I could get it to work. The only thing I can think of is try to load it in a completely different browser. What the fuck? Dude, this thing is awful. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, this is the day of awful technical issues, and they're not, literally not my, not my fault. It's not stuff that I'm doing wrong or anything. It's not PC hardware issues. It's just, stuff will not work. Let me do this. Yeah, give me a second, because what I'm trying to do is log into a different browser. And if I'm in a different browser, maybe then the chat will work. Because I want to see everyone, obviously. I want to be able to talk with everybody during an interactive podcast. I mean, what the hell? All right, so now I go to my dashboard. It won't even, are you kidding? It won't even work in a different browser. What the holy hell is going on? I don't understand at all. I'm lost. I am 100% lost right now. I don't get it. How was I able to load my dashboard for Kick in a new browser, fresh login? It loads the chat, and then the chat freezes. But it's working on my desktop PC over here. I'm seeing all of you chat, but it doesn't work on my laptop. What the fuck is going on? I have no clue. I don't even know. I can't explain it. I don't know what's going on at all. Could this actually be the source of some of my internet issues? Allow me to explain what's going on right now this morning. Okay? So, this morning, I came into the office early because I wanted to purchase, download, and get Super Mario Galaxy 2 working for today's stream. Okay? So I came in here and I hooked up my Switch 2. It had been unhooked because the last console I had used was my PS5. So I hooked it all up, Ethernet, HDMI, etc. Turned it on. Got my Wiimotes working for the first time in like 2 months. Because the last time I played it was the Bonanza, Donkey Kong Bonanza. So I got the Wiimotes all set up and working. Okay? And everything is good, basically. Okay? So what I'm thinking is I'm going to try a different internet connection and see what happens here. So I turn on the Switch. Okay? Everything seems good. All right, well, I want to do, well, wait a minute, what's this? And I look, I have 2 games that are sitting on my Switch dashboard. Did it just start working? Yeah, it's something to do with my internet. There's something fucked up with my internet, and we'll talk about it in a second, okay? So, yeah, see, it started working here because I connected from a different connection. This is insane. I'm getting both chats open. The only reason both chats are open is because I just connected wirelessly to a different connection, I think. But I'll explain in a moment, okay? Okay, so here's what's going on. This morning I come into the office and I say, okay, let's turn on the Switch 2. Let's get let's get Super Mario Galaxy 2 downloaded and ready for today's stream. So I turn it on And I noticed immediately the 2 games that I have sitting there on the dashboard, which is Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, they're blinking with bars at the bottom, each insinuating, I'm guessing, that they each need an update. Okay? And I'm like, oh, okay. It needs an update. So let me do them. But there's an X over them. So I go to click on it. It says no internet connection. Oh, that's weird. I'm plugged into the Ethernet. Why would there be no internet connection? That doesn't make any sense at all. Okay? So I go to look at everything, and it basically says it's not connected. I say, okay, connect to the internet, Ethernet. And it goes and it cycles, and it's going ding, 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 ding. And then it says, can't get an IP address. What do you mean I can't get an IP address? Why wouldn't I be able to get an IP address? Just, it won't give an IP address. And I'm thinking in my head, well, what's recently happened? Well, Comcast supposedly upgraded the infrastructure of the internet here, right? Maybe that could affect the console, but I couldn't figure out why. I'm like, why would that affect the console? It didn't affect my PCs. My PCs were able to keep working, no problem. They're on this exact same network, on the same router, same everything. That doesn't even make sense. So I tested. Yeah, my PC's working fine, no problems. So I'm like, all right, let me try something else. Let me try to connect wirelessly to my modem that's downstairs, because downstairs, that modem is connected to a wireless router that I just bought like the beginning of this year, and maybe this will work. It does work. Oh, okay. Well, it updates. System update, updates the games. Wow, really? So then I go, I'm going to download Super Mario Galaxy 2. Yes, you could do that. Okay. I bought it. I downloaded it. Done. No problems at all. Okay? But it's a little slow because it's wireless, right? Like, to be honest, downloading games won't be a huge problem. I could easily just do it ahead of time. The issue here is any game that I want to play online. If I want to play a game online on my Switch, that's going to be a nightmare. You know what I'm saying? If I can only connect wirelessly, it's going to be laggy. I want to have a wired connection for online play, right? So, what is going on? So I go back over to the Ethernet, and I try to connect. It won't do it. It just keeps saying cannot detect an IP address via the Ethernet. Why? I tested that Ethernet cable with my PS5. My PS5 turns on, boots, immediately connects to the Ethernet internet. I was able to go right onto the online store and browse. So it works. So it works on PS5, no problem. It works on my gaming PC, no problem. It works on this PC, the desktop PC, no problem. But on the Switch 2, I cannot connect via the internet, the Ethernet. So you think it's got to be the Switch 2. Did the Switch 2's Ethernet port on the dock, or did the actual Ethernet capability inside of the Switch 2 fry somehow when I wasn't using the console? And how could that possibly even happen, right? I don't know. Now, before, people might be saying, well, maybe when Comcast did the updates, they changed something in your modem. They didn't. I don't have a Comcast modem. I made sure of that. After 2 years ago, when we had a Comcast employee was getting into my equipment and messing with it, I got rid of their modem. I now have my own modem, and they don't have permissions to enter it. So it's definitely not a Comcast employee messing with the modem, nor could the infrastructure updates have changed anything in my hardware setup. They have no access. Okay? So it's not that. I thought that was all that was going on. And I just started the podcast to tell you guys this issue. But as I'm starting the podcast, I noticed Kick Chat wasn't moving. YouTube chat was moving, but not Kick Chat. What? Now, the weird part is the chats are working on my desktop. No problem. Both chats are moving. But over here on the laptop, which again is connected to the same router, the same modem, the Kick Chat wasn't moving at all. So I tried logging into the other browser, and it still didn't work. It was frozen. It would load and then freeze and not move. And I would hit load again, and it would update and then freeze again and not move. Okay? So what I just did is I connected to my wireless internet downstairs. And when I connected to the wireless internet downstairs, so now this laptop is connected both to the wired Ethernet internet here and to the wireless internet downstairs. And now the chat works. The kick chat, it's moving. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Could there be an issue? Something is going on with my internet that has affected the ability of my Switch 2 specifically and only to connect to the internet via Ethernet, and is freezing my kick chat specifically only on my laptop. Because the PlayStation 5 works, the desktop PC works, and the gaming PC works fine. I don't know. I'm just, it's mind-numbing. It gives me a headache. And quite frankly, I don't need this bullshit. Like, I got other shit going on in my life. I was already running around this morning stressed out, trying to do a million things before I got on stream with you guys. I had all this stuff I had to finish. I made a promise I was going to do something to help my wife out. I'm like, all right, I'll get all that done. I do it, and then I run in here. I'm like, okay, let's get the stream going. Oh, no Ethernet on my Switch. Oh, the fucking kick chat won't move. What the fuck? So what is going on? I'm at a loss. Has anyone ever seen something like this happen before? Specifically, a console like the Switch 2 will only connect via wireless, not via Ethernet connection. But we know it's not the wire because I tested the wire with the PS5 and it worked. I just don't get it. And then what would make a chat room load but not move? But then if I connect it to a different internet connection, then it moves. I don't get it. I tried resetting my modem. Yes, I did. I tried completely restarting my modem. I tried completely restarting the wireless router. Excuse me, it's not wireless. The wired router. I tried all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know specifically what the fuck could cause the kick chat room to freeze. And then when I connect it to the wireless, now it loads. Let's test this, okay? So right now it's moving. Let's disconnect from wireless right now. Okay, I just did. Guys, keep talking in kick chat. Are you talking? Okay, it's moving. You guys are still talking in kick chat? Because I turned off the Wi-Fi and the kick chat is still moving now. So now at least it's working. At least this issue's resolved. I don't know what caused it. Okay, I have no idea. Super Bonchan says, oh, well, problem solved, time to move on. But it's not. Number one, the problem isn't solved on the Switch. I can only connect wirelessly on my Switch. I can't get this to work wired. Like, I'll try again right now. System settings, internet. Right now, it's testing the wireless internet, and it's working fine. Look, it's going fast. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. And then it says searching for networks. And it says my network is listed. And then it says wired connection. And it doesn't have anything. It's blank. It just says wired connection, blank. So I click on it, and it says connect to wired network, change settings, or restore defaults. Here, I'm going to say restore defaults. Okay, I'm going to say connect to wired network. Connecting to the internet, and it says system internet is trying to connect. How would I fully reset the Switch? Because that's a good thing. Roger, he says full reset the Switch. How do you do that? Because I know the Switch just goes to sleep mode, sleep mode, sleep mode. I would like to fully reset it, but how do you fully reset the Switch? All I see in the menu is sleep mode. So doesn't work. Error. Unable to obtain an IP address. Hold down the power button physically on top of the Switch. Okay, I'm going to do that. Let's see how that works. Actually turn it off for real rather than the rest mode bullshit. Let's do it. Let's give me a sec, okay? Okay, so I'm looking at the wrong camera. So I went over there. Listen to this. I went over there. I hard held down the power button to the Switch 2. It pops up okay? And it says on the screen, power options. Oh, great. So I clicked down to go to power options. All I did was press the button once. It goes like this. Boom, boom. I pressed the button literally once and it says boom, boom, as if I pressed it twice. So I press the button, it goes to sleep mode again. So I had to turn it on again. And then I held it down again. I went to power options. And from there, I was able to say, actually shut off the console. So I actually have it shut off right now. Okay, for a bit. I'm going to let it sit there for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to try to turn it back on, and we're going to see what happens. Okay? All right. See, so now I'm being asked, and when I talk about Ghost of Yote, don't spoil the ending. I guess what I'll have to do is I'll have to say to everyone, hey, I'm going to talk about it, because the truth is, I was spoiled on the ending. I couldn't believe it. My jaw dropped, and that's what I wanted to talk about today, but I don't want to spoil the game for everybody. Okay? I just don't want to spoil the game for everyone. So what I'll have to do, maybe if I'm going to talk about it, be like, okay, this is the segment, so come back in like 10 minutes or something, right? Okay. All right. So good morning, everyone. We'll mess with the Switch 2 in a few more minutes. Let's say good morning. Let's hang out a little bit, shall we? What's going on, everybody? So who's here today? We got Jay, Sibino, Banana Jose, Cracker Jacks, Susie, Chris. What's up, Chris? Raphael, Illy. Let's see. Stuart, Schnitzel Sandwich, Tactical 2, Roger, Original Grant, Catalos. Does this look normal? James, what's going on? Queen of Hearts, how are you? Over on Kick, who do we got today? RGB King, Strongate's Legacy, The Real Crown Prince, Nerd Knight. Who else? Brain Pills, interesting name. Super Bonchan, of course. How are you? Robust, tangy flavor. What's up? Good morning. How is everyone today? Welcome, welcome. Thankfully, I can see you all talk now. I have no clue what caused Kick Chat to repeatedly freeze. I'm just lost. What's up, Jade? Good morning, Jade. Good to see you. Pausin. Well, first of all, thank you to John. John's membership, it looks like he became a new member this morning, so thank you to John for that. Let's get John on the leaderboard. And thank you, Pausin, for 44 months as a member on YouTube. That is amazing. Thank you, Pausin, for your ongoing support. I appreciate that. Bottom Line is Real is here. What's up, Bottom Line is Real? Captain, how are you? All right, see, a lot of people are saying they don't want to be spoiled. All right, I will not spoil Ghost of Yote then. I won't do it. Because I want to talk about it, but I'm not going to spoil it for people if people who are playing it. All I'm going to, we'll talk about it in a sec. I'll just speak in vast generalities. Okay? I will not spoil it for you. I'm not going to be a jerk. Okay. First tip of the day. $2 tip from Orangutan is something I'm not going to say. Imagine if 10,000 volts went through your testicles right now. What sound would you make? If 10,000 volts went through my testicles, I don't know if I'd be making a sound. I'd probably go unconscious. I'd probably be convulsing on the ground. I'm just saying. So there you go. Thanks for $2. Name that I'm not going to put on the leaderboard. I'm not going to put the real name. I'm just going to put an abbreviation. Okay. Restore factory settings? I don't want to restore factory settings, though. Roger is saying you can power off the console while holding the volume up and volume down on the Switch. Press the power button once to turn the console on. The menu will show restore factory settings without deleting all save data. So basically, it'll restore all software settings and everything, but keep game save data on there so I can continue playing games. That's interesting. I mean, I could do that if this continues with the Switch. I don't know what's causing it. It's so bizarre. For a recap, everyone, people who are just joining, I was very late to stream today because my Switch 2 will not connect to Ethernet. It will only do wireless internet. I cannot. I've tried everything. It will not connect to the Ethernet internet. So that means I can't play games online. If I tried with wireless, it would be laggy as hell. Now, not that it's a big deal, because right now I'm not playing any Nintendo games online, but there very well may be one down the line I want to, right? Like, at least I played Mario Kart already. That's done. But what if there's another Nintendo game with online play that I want to experience? Are there online components to Pokemon coming out? This sucks. If I can't use wired internet on there, I have no idea, what's going on. Very confusing. Okay. So that's what we're trying to figure out. Now, at the same time that was happening, Kick Chat on my laptop would load but not move. It would load and freeze, and then load and freeze. And I tried on 2 different browsers and it kept doing that. So then I connected the laptop to the wireless internet in the house rather than the wired, and then it started working. And then I disconnected it from the wireless, and it's continuing to work with the Ethernet that's wired. I'm so confused. A weird tech issue morning. I don't understand it. I don't know what I could have possibly done any different. It's just bizarre shit going on right now. Okay, so that's what I'm dealing with today. I mean, the good news is the chat's working again on the laptop. The bad news is I don't know what caused it, and I don't know if my solution will work again. Like, I have no clue what's going on, and that's not a good thing. Really? Indian Cthulhu says, excited to watch you play the best 3D platformer of all time. Is it? Do you believe Galaxy 2, Super Mario Galaxy 2 is the best 3D platformer of all time? Interesting. I've heard people say they really like it. I don't think I ever heard anyone say it's the best of all time. All right. So the Switch 2 has now been off for a bit. I'll probably also unplug the dock for a minute. And let me do that right now. I'm going to go to unplug the dock. Okay, so I unplugged the dock for Switch 2 as well. Hopefully this will power it down fully. I just want this thing starting from fresh rather than trying to reload established settings or something that might have messed with the Ethernet. I don't know. Again, I literally haven't used the Switch 2 since I played Donkey Kong Bonanza. And when I was playing Bonanza, if you think about it, I was playing it offline. Like, I was never connecting to the internet when I was playing Bonanza. So technically, the last time that I might have actually used the internet on my Switch 2 was when I downloaded Bonanza. And that was what, early June? So I don't know, man. I just don't know. Anyway, let's talk about what's going on right now this week. Let's get everybody caught up. So, what is going on right now? I'll tell you. Number one, we are doing really well with Silk Song. I'm continuing to make great progress every time we play it. At this point, we're like we're about 40 hours in, and I'm still loving the game, although it is incredibly, challenging. I am really enjoying the game, and we are making great progress. We're basically at the end of Bile Water. Once you complete Bile Water, then we're going to complete Act 2, and then when that's done, then we get into the secret content of Act 3. Okay, so we're heading into the final third of the game. I'm excited for it. I really had a great time. And every time that we play Silk Song, people show up, engage, and support, and they're great streams. All right? Truck Sim continues. Truck Sim last night was a nice, chill, fun time. People showed up, and again, we had a great conversation. I had a few alcoholic ciders, and we hit our support goal, so that continues once a week. Okay? We have finished Silent Hill F. Awful ending sequence. The actual story ending feels rushed, but then there's actually a cutscene after the credits to explain the ending of what really happened. And basically within like 20 seconds, the game completely explains the plot in the weirdest way possible. I'm not going to spoil it, but let's just say it is very Silent Hill-esque, but at the same time, it's kind of lame too. Let's just put it this way. As you know, every time there's a Silent Hill game, it's supposed to be an allegory for something that happened in the person's life. It's not what you're experiencing in any Silent Hill video game isn't necessarily actually happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, the monsters are usually representative of something that's in the psyche of the person from their past, some emotional trauma or whatever. So when you beat the game just drops this giant story surprise spoiler on you, and you're like, oh, well, that's interesting, but I wish that they could have told you that when you were playing the game, or that it could have had something to do with the game, because it's like, you beat it and you're like, damn. Well, it's kind of creepy, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know how to say it, like, it's underwhelming. Like, you played a 12 to 13-hour game just to be told this is what it really was. You're like, oh. With Silent Hill, like, for example, last year, Silent Hill 2 Remake. You play through this whole game, and you get to the end, and there was a big reveal, and you're like, oh, that's an interesting story twist because you were guessing at that the whole game. With Silent Hill F, there's literally no way you ever would have guessed that's what the game was about until you get to that final cutscene. But then when you've seen it, it's like, well, that's kind of stupid. And it's not, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's not fully explained either. Like in that ending, again, I'm trying not to spoil it for you. And then it's like, well, you can get other endings, didn't you know, if you beat the game another 4 times? Like, wait, what? Yeah, so the way Silent Hill F works, when you play through it, okay, when you get to the end, or when you get to the middle, I should say, and when you get to the end, there's distinct differences in New Game Plus runs. So the middle of the game and the final boss changes on second, third, and fourth runs, basically. And then at the end, you get another ending or something like that. But to be honest, Silent Hill F's gameplay is so bad when it comes to the combat and how grindy and repetitive. By the end of the game, oh my God. The end of Silent Hill F is an insanely grinding slog. They make you kill hordes and hordes of enemies. And it's like, wait, what? Why? This isn't an action game. It's survival horror. Why do I have to kill gauntlets of enemies? As if I'm playing Devil May Cry or I'm playing Bayonetta or, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm playing Ninja Gaiden. Why do I have to do that? This is fucking Silent Hill. I didn't understand it at all. And then you get to the end of the game and the ending is just so weird and different. It's like, well, at least when you're playing Silent Hill 2, it was loud playing outside. At least when you're playing Silent Hill 2, you're kind of guessing at what's going on. At the end, you get your answer. Here, you get to the end of the game and you think you figured out what the game was about. And then the game's like, no, actually, it was this. You're like, wait, what? How the fuck would I have ever known that? There's no way throughout the entire game of Silent Hill F you would know the ending is what it is. Like, so I don't know. I have mixed feelings. Like, I liked the graphics. I did like some of the atmosphere of the game. And it's a very dark story. But the gameplay elements are awful. The puzzles. Oh, the final puzzle of the game is atrociously bad. It's one of the worst design puzzles I've ever seen in my life. And by the way, everyone online agrees. Everyone uses guides to beat the game because the last puzzle is a piece of shit. So, awful puzzles, awful combat, confusing story you never would understand until you actually beat the game. And to get a full understanding of the game, you have to beat it like 5 times. Does that sound interesting to you? Because that's what I was saying. Like, if there is a game that either completely changes up the game through a New Game Plus run, completely, like the whole game's different, or if the gameplay is so good and addicting and fun, you want to go back and play it again, then having multiple runs and get new endings makes sense. But if your gameplay of your game sucks, like it does in Silent Hill F, it does. The combat actually sucks, and the puzzles are super fucking annoying. Why would I want to replay the game again and again and again? I'm not stupid. I don't want to torture myself. So either I'm going to look up the alternate endings online for someone else who suffered through it, or I'm just going to say, fuck this game and never play it again. I opted for B. Like, I just don't care about the alternate endings. It just stinks. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know what they were thinking here. So anyway, Silent Hill F, a big disappointment for me. It certainly wasn't the worst game I've ever played, but it did not live up to the hype of being called a Silent Hill game at all. There's so many other Silent Hill games that I have played, like almost every single one, I would argue. The only one I would say I played that's worse was Shattered Memories because I couldn't play it. It was like unplayable on the Switch. The motion controls wouldn't work properly, so I couldn't even like make progress. But outside of that, every other Silent Hill game I feel has been better. This game was ass. And the funny part is so many people kissed its butt. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? Don't you understand that when you praise garbage, you'll get more garbage? Like Silent Hill 2 Remake, that's a game worth praising. That's game of the year stuff. This game ain't it. This game is not going to make my best games of the year at all. It's pathetic. It really wants to be Silent Hill, but changes too much and then veers from the formula in ways that make it a horrible game to play. And then I'm supposed to forgive all that because you gave me a twist ending? No, I don't forgive it. It's boring. I don't want to play it again. I'm serious when I say this. I don't want that dev team to make more Silent Hill games unless Bloober Team also will continue to make Silent Hill games that are more like the originals. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want Silent Hill to become purely what Silent Hill F was. I want to still have more classic survival horror Silent Hill. But then if they want to keep making Silent Hill F, I'm okay with that. If you want to make spin-off Silent Hills that are different, go for it, as long as you're not throwing away the main game that I know and love. So that's what I'm hoping. Anyway, I really hope that they don't ruin the series. I guess we'll have to see. Okay. All right, folks, guess what? I'm now going to head over there. I'm going to plug in the dock. I'm going to turn on the Switch 2, and we're going to see what happens. Give me a sec. So I've turned on my Switch 2 again, and it again has no internet connection. Even though it's been fully powered down and the dock was powered down and turned back on, it's still not connected. So I'm taking a look at the settings. It says it has found my wireless network and it has a wired connection. I click on wired connection, connect to the wired network. Nope, doesn't work. And again, how does it make sense that my PS5 is exactly on the same network, works fine, no issue? The gaming PC is on the same network, works fine, no issue. My desktop PC for capture and streaming is on the same network, no issue. My laptop is on the same network, no issue. But the Switch will not connect. The Switch won't connect unless I use wireless. It makes no sense. It makes me say, basically what I think happened is, I think that the Ethernet capabilities of the Switch fried or broke, whatever you want to say. That's what I believe. So I am screwed. Moving forward, I will never be able to play games on my Switch online. The only way I can do it is to play wirelessly, connecting to my setup downstairs, which is going to lag. It's not the cord. The same cord works with my PS5. I tested it. It's not the cord at all. I might have too many devices connected. It won't fetch an automatic IP. Can I set a manual one? How the hell would I do that? I have no idea how to set a manual IP, dude. I've never done that in my life. I've never had to. Well, I would have to start doing that on October 7th, 2025. I have no clue. And again, it used to work fine, no problems. Conflicting IP addresses. Well, what if I go to internet settings? No, I don't currently have an adapter. So that ain't going to work. The settings are set to IPv6 connection, IPv4 address settings as automatic, DNS settings automatic, and then there's proxy settings off because I don't have a proxy thing going on, and auto connect. Well, I don't know what to do. The good news is today I'm not playing online. Right? I'm not, so it's not a big deal. But what if eventually there's a Nintendo game I want to play online? Does anyone know if the upcoming Pokemon ZA, whatever the hell it's called, does that have online capabilities that I need? Right? Am I going to need to have an online player interact with people or not? I don't know. The good news is the game downloaded really fast. I don't know how big Super Mario Galaxy 2 actually is, but it downloaded relatively fast. It downloaded in about maybe 5 to 10 minutes, not even. So even if there's a large game on the Switch 2, it probably would be able to load relatively fast. It's not a big deal on the wireless. Yeah, I don't know. You need online to battle people online? I don't know if I'll ever do that. I don't think I care about battling people online in Pokemon. Huh. All right, anyway, this sucks. I mean, obviously, I'm happy it didn't affect my gaming PC. It's not affecting my PS5. I have no clue why it's affecting the Switch. It's bizarre shit. Okay? Let's see here. Got a couple shout outs to do. Someone tipped me a buck, says, are there any games that I hated at first, but they grew on me as I continued to play them? I'm sure there are. 100%. But on the top of my head, here's what we can do. Okay? Let's take a look at the games that I've played this year. Oh, I can't because I'm not hooked up to my PC. I guess I could do that quick. Hold on. What I can do is I can quickly open up all the playlists of the games that I played on PC this year. So if I go to playlists, here it is. So let's see. What games did I maybe not like at first, but they grew on me? Silent Hill F, no. Chronos, no. Silksong, no. Here's Where We're Loaded, no. Metal Gear Solid Delta, no. Sweet Code N, no. Mafia, no. Let's see. Ludo, no. Definitely not Donkey Kong Bonanza. That got worse the further that I got in. Death Stranding 2, not really. Not Onimusha, not Mario Kart. Definitely not Mind's Eye. Holy moly. Elden Ring, no. Doing the Dark Ages, no. Man, I don't know. Blueprint, no, nothing this year from what I'm seeing. Not really anything this year at all. Did I at first not like, but then it grew on me and I started to like? No, not really. I'm just going all the way back to the beginning of the year to be sure. For the record, we are going to do Legos tomorrow. I got to tell you guys about this because I just put it in the schedule last night and no one really brought it up. Yeah, no, nothing this year at all. Literally nothing this year at all did I not like at first, but then it grew on me and I liked it more. So, no, I don't really have an answer for that. If there are everything from previous years, maybe, and I'm sure it's happened, and just nothing as of late. Either it's something I like from the get-go, so I keep playing, or I haven't liked and we didn't continue. So there you go. Okay. I received a $5 tip. Someone tipped $5. Hold on while I play animation. From an anonymous tipper, Kirby and the Forgotten Lands have a DLC. It's even harder levels and an even tougher endgame super boss. Would you do a redemption run? I don't think so. I think we're done with Kirby for now. Maybe someday if there's a new Kirby game. Isn't that Star Racing game coming out? See, oh, there you go. Here's a perfect example. If my wireless doesn't work on Switch 2, if my wired internet doesn't work on Switch 2, which it doesn't right now, I can't play any racing games, so I wouldn't be able to play the Kirby Star game. I'd have to skip it. I'd be forced to skip it, literally. Like, I can't play it because there's no internet connection. It would be too laggy to play on wireless. So that sucks. I don't know what to say about that. It stinks. As for the, the Kirby game, Forgotten Land, nah, I'm not going to go back to that one. It's been way too far removed from that. Okay, Shin Bucorn did a €5 super chat. I just want to see what the actual value of that is. $1.17. So it would still be $5.83. Okay. $5.83. Thank you to Shin Bucorn. Cool. Thank you. All right. So we have a couple things to talk about. Number one is the schedule, and I want to get everyone caught up because the schedule has changed a few times this week. So I want to let you guys know what we're doing. So here we go. Let's go through it quickly. Here we are. And am I in the right spot? See, this camera got all screwed up. It did, didn't it? It looks like it's not far over enough. Hold on. Let me fix this. I had to move it last night for Truck Sim. There we go. And the bar is in the wrong spot for some reason. There we go. Much better. There we are. Okay. So, as you can see, today it's Super Mario Galaxy 2 premiering. Luckily, I was able to download it, and it's an offline game, so it shouldn't be a big deal. So that's excellent. I hope that it's great, like you people have said. I've always wanted to play it since I played Galaxy 1 many years ago. I'm finally getting to play it today on my Switch 2. Pretty cool, right? Tonight, it is the final Black Ops 7 beta test stream. The beta test actually ends tomorrow morning. So final Black Ops 7 gameplay. I'm very excited for that. I think it's going to be a great stream. I actually started playing with this crazy-ass sniper rifle that does insane damage. So I can't wait to try that again and then try some more, builds and stuff and just have a good time with it as a little preview of the game coming out next month. So that's tonight's late stream. I hope you'll join me for that. Tomorrow, there's no podcast. Instead, we're just going to do another major stream of Hollow Knight Silksong. And we're actually going to finish up Bilewater, and we're going to go back to Citadel and finish up the Citadel and see, if we can get into Act 3. And then tomorrow night, we're going to do this as a trial, Sonic Racing Crossworlds multiplayer as a late stream. Previously, we did Sonic Racing Crossworlds twice as a daytime stream. The first stream, it did good and we hit the goal. The second stream, no, it didn't. We didn't even come close, all right? So I want to give it another shot as a late stream now because this is exactly what had happened with Mario Kart World, where we had started as a day stream. Within a couple streams, it didn't really work. Then we turned it into a night stream, and then it started working. All right, so let's see tomorrow. I'll give it a shot. Now, if tomorrow night it doesn't work, that's fine. We don't have to continue with it. It was a fun, quick thing to try. Maybe you guys just aren't into racing right now. I don't know. I guess we'll see. And then Thursday, we will do a podcast in the morning, and we will continue with Super Mario Galaxy 2. And then Thursday night, here's the update, everybody. I've decided on Thursday night, let's let's do it. Let's do a Lego build. Let's build this Lego Game Boy to see if it's any good. And let's see how it would look in the setup. I'm not saying we'll use it this month, but we'll probably have it for my setup, my background next month. But let's do a chill with Phil Thursday night Lego stream building the Lego Game Boy together. All right? So this entails there's going to be a lot of discussion. You guys will be talking with me and tagging with me, and we'll be talking back and forth. It should be a really good time hanging out, and we'll build the Game Boy together as a late night chill stream Thursday night. Okay? So come Thursday night, come on by to DSPGaming, either on Kick or YouTube, and enjoy the Game Boy Lego build. That'll be fun. First time we're doing this in many months, by the way. Okay? And then on Friday, it is going to be no podcast because we're going to play Battlefield 6 all day. Battlefield 6 has a ton of modes. Conquest is the giant mode with huge maps and vehicles, but also has much smaller modes that play more like Call of Duty. We'll try out a bunch. Maybe we'll start with Conquest, and then later on in the day, we'll try the other modes. But I think we should play it all day because there is so much to do in the game, and I want to give it a good taste of what it's like that first day, rather than only play one stream and feel like, oh, I'm just getting the hang of it, and then we ran out of time, okay? So that's the schedule for the week. I hope that sounds good. Also, DSP Tries It this week is Mexican food from a restaurant that my wife and I have never eaten from before. So when we hit 10 goals of support, we'll be doing that. So we're at 7 right now. So it's only 3 more goals. If we hit 3 goals on this premiere stream of Mario, I'll order Mexican food right now. So let's go. Who's going to do it? Who's going to drop? Let's see. That would be 90 subs. Who's going to drop 90 subs over on Kick right now? Or who's going to drop 5,000 kicks right now to hit those goals and do Mexican food? Who's going to do a $450 tip? Or maybe you'd like to do a $450 super chat. Let's go. Right now, let's hit the goals. All right, it's probably not going to happen. I doubt that we're going to hit the goals today. But if we hit both goals today, one for Mario's premiere and one later tonight for the final Black Ops 7 beta stream, then that means we would only have to hit the goal on tomorrow's daytime stream of Silksong, and we'll do it tomorrow. All right? So let's go. Let's get some support rolling. All right? And in fact, also, this stream, incidentally, is the final stream of the week that counts for this week on Kick. So if you support via Kick on this stream with the sub or kicks, it helps a lot. And I'll get basically that support right away. So please support. If you're on Kick right now, please support via Kick today. That would help me a ton if you could. Thank you. Okay. Big Boss did a $2 super chat. Says, how many episodes of the show has there been? Currently, we are on episode 600 and, let's see. I think we're to the 690s at this point. But keep in mind that this show ran before it was the Level 1 podcast. It was called the Pre-Stream Podcast. And that those actually ran for a while, too. There was also several hundred episodes I had to delete because I was using an intro that someone decided to then copyright claim, even though I had the rights to it. And so I had to delete certain episodes so the channel wouldn't be in jeopardy. So actually, in reality, we're probably over 1,000 episodes, for sure. The thing is, there'll be less now because I'm only doing it maybe around 3 times a week. I used to do it every single day a week. And admittedly, I do need to spend more time playing these games to get through them. So I'm giving extra time to games more often now. So, that's why we're not doing it as often. But I remember I used to do this every single day that I streamed. I got 2 pop-ups at the same time. That's amazing. So Big Boss did a $2 super chat. Says, would you celebrate 700 episode as a special event? No, when we get to maybe 1,000, maybe then I would do a special event. I don't think 700 really is a big deal, honestly, for a show that I do, so often. And I just got 100 kicks from Jay Strip. Thank you, Jay Strip. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. I am playing Battlefield 6 on Friday, Dark Chaos, all day long. I just said that. Yes, it's in the schedule. Okay. So here's the thing. The podcast are started late. I have one final topic I want to talk about. I do want to do some Q&A with you guys, but I also don't want the podcast to run ultra late because obviously I want to play Mario. So let's try to wrap this up. So here's the thing. All I'm going to say is this, because I was going to go into a big segment about it, but since people are saying don't spoil Ghost of Yote, I won't. All I'm going to say is this, okay? The head writer of Ghost of Yote was the same person who wrote major chunks of the plot of Dragon Age Veilguard, Anthem, and Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm not exaggerating. This is truthful. This person wrote for all of those stinker games. All right. So I got spoiled on the plot of Ghost of Yote. I didn't mean to, but I was reading on X and all of a sudden a post pop up. I said, oh, what's that? And I read it. I was like, oh, well, it's a spoiler now. All I'm going to say is this. I am so happy I'm not playing the game. I am so happy that I decided to skip it. Because remember what I said? I said, could you imagine if I invested in a 40+ hour video game, right? I invested all this time and effort into it, and then the story sucks. The story really sucks. The story is fucking awful. I'm talking, the story is levels of The Last of Us 2 bad. So if you thought The Last of Us 2 sucked, yeah. In fact, without spoiling, there's really one major difference that they went in a different direction. But outside of that, it's just really bad. Like, and I hate to say it, yes, it pushes agendas. Yes, it tries to get political. Yes, it basically tries to go woke. That fucking sucks. Because Ghost of Tsushima was nothing of that. You understand? Ghost of Tsushima had an amazing, timeless plot. It had insanely good writing, insanely good characters. All of that stuff was amazing. And now we've got the complete and polar opposite. I can't believe it that they would ruin it. And again, here's what happened, okay? It's this simple. Ghost of Tsushima comes out summer of 2020. We're in the midst of COVID. We're in the midst of the Black Lives Matter movement. They're making tons of money, and they say, we've got to get a sequel. What should we do the sequel about? Well, should we do the sequel about the strong character who everyone loves from the first game? Well, wait a minute. How would we fit into what's hot right now? Well, what's hot right now? Leftist agendas, liberal politics, social justice. We got to have all those things in our game. No, you don't. You don't. You don't have to be a fucking pathetic, bandwagoning bunch of fucking unoriginal losers. You can make art that's original, that doesn't jump on a trend. But this is what all these companies don't understand anymore. They think we're going to jump on the trend and ride the bandwagon. That way we don't have to work hard. And that's exactly what they did with the plot of Ghost of Yote. It's actually a bandwagoning leftist plot to try to get people who are in that feel-good leftist movement of The Last of Us 2 and 2020's very liberal year. They were trying, let's take advantage of that. But what have we been saying? The problem is with game development, it takes too long for a game to be developed. What was popular in 2020 is no longer popular in 2025. People are no longer looking for that. In fact, they're rallying against it. We don't want these political things in our games. We just want good games. So imagine, oh, this is the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. Awesome. Let me start playing it. And you're playing, oh, the gameplay elements are very similar to the first game. That's excellent. Ooh, look at this new thing. And then all of a sudden, a weird-ass fucking plot with a liberal agenda behind it, again, shoved down your throat whether you like it or not. So what is going on? Why are you trying to push politics on me when I'm playing a video game? All I want to do is play a fucking video game and have a good time. I don't want to become a fucking politician that either leans left or right. I just want to play a video game. Why do I have to get fucked with? None of that was present in Ghost of Tsushima. Zero. They interjected all of it into Ghost of Yotei on purpose to try to fucking bandwagon, and it's failing miserably. The other funny part about it is Ghost of Yotei has been out for over a week now, right? It took this long for people to start talking about it because in reality, no one's finishing the game. People all bought it, started playing it, like, they're meandering around it. Only now are people actually getting to the end of the game and like, oh shit, that's the ending? So there you go. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I hope I didn't because I didn't give you, I gave you zero specifics, right? But I'm disappointed because, man, I know what would have happened. We would have played through that game, okay? And we would have gotten to the middle or end of the story and been like, whoa, we invested so much time and now this is it. This sucks, right? It just, you get pissed off that you put that much time and effort into it. And you feel like you feel like it's the sunken cost fallacy that you've already invested so much time into it that you got to keep going to finish it anyway, even if you don't like it. And again, here's the thing too, like, you might say, well, Phil, or what are you, anti-woke? Listen, you can have liberal themes. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with liberal thoughts, leftist thoughts, just like there's nothing wrong with conservative thoughts, right thoughts, but you don't want it forcibly forced down your throat. Okay? You don't. You don't want it. And this game does that. What again? And it's like, anyway. But it apparently sold 1 million copies, so good for it. You know, I don't know what they're actually trying to hit, being that it was the only game Sucker Punch made in 5 years. They invested all their efforts and money into this game. They're really hoping that it becomes a huge success. So basically that means 1 million pre-orders. That's great. You know, I guess we'll see how it does, but I'm not wasting my time on it. That's for sure. Well, that's the thing. Queen of Hearts says, it would be one thing if those things happened historically, but it's so far to the left, it doesn't make sense from a historical standpoint. It takes you out of the story. It's basically pulling an Assassin's Creed Shadows, where, gee, who are the protagonists of Assassin's Creed Shadows? A female ninja, of which there were probably 2 ever, right? And a black samurai, of which there were 0 ever. But that's the game you made. Everyone's always been waiting for a Japanese Assassin's Creed, and you decide to make it so out of the realm of reality of what would happen in Japan, no one likes your game. So again, why is it that when they write these games today, they have to be so, well, our story is the complete, utter exception to what would actually ever happen historically during this time period. Okay, so how about this? If you don't want to do a story that's representative of the time period that you've selected, then don't fucking select that time period, stupid. Do a different time period. Right? You get so tired of, well, this is the exception. This is not the norm. This is the weird. When do we get something that's just fucking normal? If everything is the exception to the normal, when do we get the normal? Why don't we get the baseline normal thing to enjoy instead of, oh, this is the weirdo side thing that never really happened? And then you hide behind, well, it's fantasy. It's fantasy. It didn't really happen. It's not historic. Yeah, but people have been asking you for how long for Japanese Assassin's Creed? Why'd you give us the fucked up version first? Give us the real one, right? And yeah, at least I will say this, okay? At least in the case of Ghost of Tsushima, we got a good game with normal shit first. We did. There's none of the exception to the rule weirdo, out of the way, never really happened shit in Ghost of Tsushima. So you can go play Ghost of Tsushima and it's DLC and really enjoy it. Okay? There you go. Or if you just don't care about the story at all and you want to unplug and just play the game for its gameplay, I've heard the gameplay is quite good, but it is a very incredibly similar gameplay loop to the first game. Go and enjoy it. That's what I mean. I want you to understand something. Just because something is not for me doesn't mean it won't be for you, right? If you really like Ghost of Tsushima, enjoy Ghost of Yotei. Seriously, like I wouldn't put it upon myself to be like, this is a bad game. I haven't seen a single person actually say that the game is bad. No one's saying that at all. people are saying, oh, the graphics are actually outstanding. The gameplay is very sound. But there are valid criticisms of the game out there, for sure. Okay, guys. So, for the final segment, would anyone like to talk? Just tag me in the chats. Let's see what you guys want to talk about. A little bit of Q&A to end the show. But we're not going to go super long here. Maybe 10 minutes, 15 tops. Because I do want to play 2 to 2.5 hours of Mario today. Don't worry, we're playing another stream of Mario in a couple days. We'll have a lot of Mario gameplay this week. It just sucks that what happened today with all this nonsense, this technical stuff. I don't know what's going on with my Switch 2. I just don't understand it. I don't even know how to fix it. Everyone keeps asking me about that. Well, I play the original Hollow Knight. Like, again, I'm not against it. Okay, I'm not against Hollow Knight, but would anyone really want to see me go back and play it after I've played the superior, harder game? Like, everyone is saying, Hollow Knight is essentially the training trial for what you're going to do in Silksong. Well, I started with Silksong. So once I've beaten Silksong, what's the point of going back and playing the shorter, easier game? You've already overcome the harder challenge, so why go back to play the one from before that's easier? But maybe you would want me to. I don't know. Again, I'm not against it at all. I'm not. If this is what you want, I would play Hollow Knight. Okay? There you go. Play Cuphead? I already did. I played Cuphead when it was brand new, and I played its DLC. And I actually loved it. I love Cuphead. I think it's an outstanding game. Okay, I have received... a elite tip. The tip is $13.37. By the way, thank you, Dan Zach. I'll shut that out in a second. I received a $13.37 tip. Thank you for that. Let's play an animation. Is this one done? No, I gotta wait for this to end first. Okay, here we go. So thank you to CS Veteran. So I guess Counter-Strike Veteran for the elite tip. That puts us at 32 of support. Says, I'm honestly surprised Counter-Strike is still popular to this day with a strong esports scene. I don't play it myself anymore, but I find it crazy. You know, it just goes to show that the classics stand the test of time, right? Like, I was surprised. I played it recently. Remember, I played it, what was it, very early this year, I think? And I was like, yeah, the game is as I remember it. Like, it still plays good. It's the same maps and everything. They're still playing on Dust or whatever. Like, pretty insane. But hey, sometimes the originals are the best and people don't want to let go of what was great. I mean, look at me. I love Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and to this day, I still feel like it's the best fighting game ever made, despite the fact that I've probably played 40, 50 other fighters after. I don't think another game will ever be as good, you know? Okay, thank you to Danzak for a $2 super chat. I would like to talk about Wings of Redemption. Okay. What would you like to talk about? Exactly. I like how he said, I would like to talk about Wings of Redemption, but then he didn't. He proceeded to not talk about him. No, I've already explained a million times why I'm not interested in 2XKO. I'm not going to repeat myself. I'm just not interested in it. Clout Sivler did a $2 super chat. He says, was the thing you wanted to say about Ghost of Yote positive? No, what I told you, I found out what the whole plot and ending is. And I was so shocked that that's what they went with, especially in light of everything going on in the world. I was like, they're not very smart. And I wanted to tell you what it was and how dumb it is, but I'm not going to spoil the game. I'm not going to spoil the plot. People who are playing it have asked me not to spoil, so I'm not going to do that. Yes, we can play Mario. I downloaded it. It's on my Switch. We'll be able to play it. It should be fine. What's up, Game Boy? How are you today? Welcome, welcome. Truncate's Legacy says, there's many reports of a broken Ethernet port on the Switch 2 dock. Nintendo will replace it, but you could buy one and return it to test. Yeah, because you're right, because I don't know. It might be the dock, but it could just be the Switch. It could be the Ethernet port on the Switch has died, right? Like, there's not a port. It's, the capability. It could be that. I don't know. Lego Game Boy is tomorrow night, the late night stream. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, we're going to be doing, or Wednesday night. No. Okay, I take this all back. I said it wrong. Thursday night. Okay, the late night stream on DSP Gaming. So not tonight, not tomorrow night. Thursday night, we're building the Lego Game Boy together. We're going to do a chill stream. I'm just trying to read comments. There's a million comments coming in at once, but none of them are very intelligible. What do we plan for a Kick anniversary? The anniversary already happened, didn't it? We were already at a year, I thought. Maybe not. When was the first day that I streamed on Kick? I thought we already hit the year anniversary. I played Little Nightmares 1. I did not like it that much, and the audience hated it. So I skipped 2, so we're not doing 3. Yeah, the audience hated Little Nightmares. I thought it was all right. I liked how it had like a Tim Burton-esque design and dark stuff, but the audience hated it. They thought it was boring. Dan Zach, thanks for $2. No, I never visited the USS Yorktown. I'm going to assume that that's a ship or something in a naval fleet or something. I've never been on a naval ship before. Okay. The Lego Game Boy, once completed, will likely become part of my set from time to time. We'll probably put it in the set for November. And then probably not for December, of course, Christmas, but we'll probably bring it back every once in a while. Just like I already brought back the Lego Piranha Plant last month, and it looked really nice, right? They're ready for a lot of Yoshi and not as much Mario. Yeah, I wonder how Yoshi is implemented in Galaxy 2. I've never played a classic horror JRPG. I know they exist. Like, wasn't Sweet Home the original horror game that inspired games like Resident Evil? Wasn't that like a turn-based RPG? I never played it myself, but I'm pretty sure it was like an old school turn-based RPG with a lot of gore and stuff, right? But I never played any of those. What's up, X Shooter? How are you today? I don't even know how I would do that. Someone's asking me would I play the original Spyro the Dragon game with its original graphics. How or why would I do that? I've already played it remade with modern graphics. Why would I play the original? And how would you have means to play it? It's a PS1 game. No, I have not tried an extraction shooter. I don't really think that I'm interested in them. Have I ever been to an air show? Asked Dan Zach with a $2 super chat. Oh, man. I feel like I went to a fair where there was a flyover by jets. I seem to remember fighter jets flying over me when I was a kid. So I think I went somewhere, whether it was like a fireworks display or a fair or somewhere where they did have it. But I never went specifically to just an air show where that was the whole subject matter. No. October 12th was my first real Kick stream. So before then was that demo stream that I did where I ran the highlights. Remember, for a whole day, I just ran highlights on the channel to build up viewership and stuff and watch hours. How's the thumb today? Better, but has a callus again from playing Silk Song. So basically what happens is I play Silk Song, my thumb gets all messed up, I get a callus, okay? And then within like a day of not playing or 2 days not playing Silk Song, the callus basically starts to go away. And then I start playing Silk Song again, then it comes back. Every time I play it, because the buttons on that freaking Elite 2 controller are not good for platforming at all. They hurt your fingers. Room temperature check, 84 degrees and climbing. It is again full sun outside, so it is increasing in heat here in the office. And when my wife gets home from work later, I'm going to have to close the office door. It's going to get even hotter. Yeah, it's currently in the 70s outside, so that's why it's 84. It's going to end up being over 90 in here today. However, the good news is rain starts on Friday, supposedly. The temperatures dip dramatically. So starting this weekend, I might actually start getting autumn weather and be nice and cool in here. But it sucks. I have to keep wearing t-shirts every single day. It's too hot. Any updates on the fitness journey? What updates would you like? What I did yesterday, I did arms, chest, and sit-ups. So core. Arms, chest, and core was yesterday. So a little sore today, but that's okay. I told you I'd increase the weight on the weights this week. So this is a new level of weight, and so therefore my arms are kind of like, first time feeling that harder weight, and they're kind of sore. But It's all good. Within like another week or two, I'll get used to that amount of weight. I would like to eventually play Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles, but I don't know if it's going to happen, frankly. I don't know if people are going to want to watch it. No, see, I told you, I'm trying to ease myself into doing some push-ups. I'm already doing so many exercises, like, I'm trying to figure out where I would do it in my routine, but the reason I'm not doing push-ups right now is because I hurt my arm a couple weeks ago. I told you, I think I hyperextended my arm, so there's certain exercises that it messes with the arm more, and that's one of them. Like, trying to do the push-ups, it's hurting my elbow. I tried doing them, like, "Fuck, my elbow." So I can't really do too many right now. I'm trying to get this arm. It's been getting better slowly over the last 2 weeks. I still can't fully like bend it in all the way, and I can't extend it all the way. It's still, messed up a little bit. And I still get like artificial tightness in it. So I fucked the muscle up bad in the elbow somehow. I don't know how I did it, but it'll get better. And once it does, then I'm going to try to seriously do push-ups, but I just can't really do them that much right now because my fucking arm's fucked up. Boy, you're deaf. I have done push-ups. I'm just not doing them regularly, and I'm trying to find a way to get them into the routine. Again, I tried it and it hurt my elbow. I don't want to hurt my fucking body. I got to do things that I'm working out, but I'm not overexerting and hurting things that are messed up. Like I said, this is already screwed up. The elbow. I don't want to fuck up the elbow. Then I can't exercise at all. Dan's out again with $2. He says, "Do you like snickerdoodle cookies?" I'm trying to remember what snickerdoodles are. What ones are snickerdoodles? What do they look like and taste like? I don't remember them. They sound familiar, but I don't remember them specifically. All right. Well, thank you guys for the early support. I say let's end the show. Remember, we're going to do another podcast this Thursday. All right. And in the meantime, it's time for a lot of gameplay. It's time for Mario. It's time for the final Black Ops 7. It's time for more Silksong. It's time for Sonic Racing. Right? And we're going to have Lego night on Thursday I'm excited for. All right, guys? Good stuff. All right. Thank you for watching the Level 1 podcast, my friends. Sorry for the technical issues and the late start. I still hope you enjoyed the show, and I will see you soon for more chill fun. Peace out, and see you then on Thursday.